Welcome back, fans, on flowcombat.com. Ryan Cavanaugh and John Sturmack bringing you the action from Big Guns 25, presented by RFO. And we are getting ready for the pro portion of our card. We've got 3 fights headlined by a professional title fight in the bantamweight division with Jordan Griffin and Cody Stevens, 2 true veterans of the sport. And John, I'll bring you in here. The final 3 fights we have all feature fighters from Strong Style MMA, and that is a fight camp you and most of the country by now should be very familiar with.
Very familiar with, you think? There's only a certain individual that comes out of there named Stipe Miocic.
Stipe Miocic, Jessica I, and of course Forrest Petz. And we had an opportunity to speak to the head coach, Marcus Marinelli, regarding his fight team. And while we're waiting for the fights to get underway and for all the officials to come, and scratch that thought, the officials are all ringside. Jake Digman's in the ring. Let's get the pro portion underway and send it inside to our master of ceremonies, Jake Digman.
The following contest is a professional bout in the RFO lightweight division, and it is brought to you by Barbers Inc. Introducing first, making his way down the aisle into the blue corner, please welcome Nick Haymaker Baker.
Nick Haymaker Baker makes his way to the cage. And John, this is a fighter who a lot of people are talking about as one of the top 155-pound fighters. Comes in with a record of 4-1 as a professional. Rec room, athletics, and John, that's a fight camp that very well established.
Yeah, absolutely. He comes in here, he's got a win, a split decision victory, coming off that in just June of 2017. So he's right back in the saddle, and he is looking to make his name here tonight.
Third fight this year for Nick Baker. And I'm excited to see this fight. Nick Baker and Jeffrey Pelton, 2 guys who, really are some pros looking to make their stamp on it. Lost a title fight in the first round by submission in another organization. Prior to that, 3 straight wins to start his career. He's got 2 decision wins, a KO, and a submission. And he's known as a guy who can get it done anywhere the fight goes, and his record reflects that.
Yeah, and especially when you have your knockout in 52 seconds, and then you have a submission at 4:59, of the first round. The guy will take the fight anywhere he goes, to use your words.
Nick Baker in the cage. Let's bring out his opponent.
And his opponent, making his way down the aisle into the red corner, please welcome Jeffrey El Jefe Pelton.
There's the tail of tape, John, between these 2 fighters.
Yeah, El Jefe, he comes in here, 28 years old versus 26. Both fighters stand 5'11", 4-1 versus 3-1 as professionals. These guys couldn't be more evenly matched. It is going to be very, very interesting how these guys come in. And now we're going to see Pelton. He's going to come in with a lot of support behind him, including the young lady right behind me, who is Jessica Evil Eye, who is a training partner of Mr. Pelton, and she can say nothing more supportive things about him. I mean, Jessica has said this guy is the real deal.
Why don't we bring Jessica in, John, and get her insight on Pelton and what he brings to the table.
This has been a long time coming. Opponents have dropped out one after another with Jeffrey, and he's been doing nothing but training and just waiting for his opportunity. You know, this is a 4-time national wrestling champion that came in with such great experience, and now he's ready to avenge that loss and get back on track.
My first question is not about Pelton, but how does Jessica I not have a commentating position full time?
Hey, we're gonna make our way there soon. First, we're gonna fight all the girls that we can, and we'll come back and we'll start talking to everybody.
Well, I know, Jess, that Paige Van Zant's someone that you were supposed to be fighting in short order, but that fell out. And when can we expect you back in the cage, and will it be against Paige?
Yeah, it definitely will be against Paige. So I think we're gonna see this fight a lot closer to home than what we expected. So just stay tuned. But Christmas is coming early.
I think we're talking about Detroit, but we'll wait for that official announcement. Jessica, thank you very much for joining us. Jeffrey Pelton, as she pointed out, 4-time All-American wrestler, and Marcus Marinelli, their head coach, says that his improvement in the stand-up has been amazing. We'll see if that turns out in the cage, and let's tee it up for the official introductions.
The following contest is a professional bout in the RFO lightweight division, and it is brought to you by Barbers Inc. Introducing first in the blue corner, he fights out of Morristown, Tennessee. He weighed in at 155 1/2 pounds, representing Newport Combat. He has a professional record, 4 wins, 1 loss. Please welcome Nick Haymaker Baker! His opponent in the red corner, he fights out of Bellevue, Ohio. He weighed in at 156 pounds, representing Strong Style Fight Team. He has a professional record, 3 wins, 1 loss. Please welcome Jeffrey El Jefe Pelton! This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, and when the action begins, your referee is Mr. Ty Wheeler.
Both of these fighters, Jeffrey Pelton and Haymaker Baker, have not stopped locking eyes since this fight started. Since they both got in the cage. Now the fight starts, and Baker almost slips on the RFO logo.
And these guys are both, you can tell that they are ready to just rip each other's heads off.
Big time wrestling pedigree for Pelton. However, he's got the Apollo Creed trunks. Big knee from Pelton. Haymaker Baker doing a little gamesmanship, but that all ends as soon as Pelton gets his hands on him. If you hear that noise in the back, it's the third member of our booth, Jessica I.
The third member of our group. She may not have a headset, but she is part of our group.
There's a left from Pelton that gets through, and he's pouring it on.
It's over.
And Jeffrey Pelton, Baker running away. Pelton has him down, and looking for the finish.
Yeah, the referee's letting this one go. These are professionals. So
and there's a tap.
And it's a tap.
Jeffrey Pelton has just tapped out. Nick Haymaker Baker, Pelton on top of the cage. Big victory for Pelton.
And then look on Nick Baker's face. He just says he just got run over by a freight train. And that's not to take anything away from him. He's a gamesmanship, but he came out trying to flaunt his ability. But when he got clipped,
John, we're going to see it here. They disengage, but Pelton in the clinch lands some pretty solid punches.
Yep, there's the foot stomp Jessica I was screaming about. And then he's just going to start laying leather.
There's a left. That starts the party. There's a 2-piece and an uppercut that drops him. Baker runs away.
And then here comes the guillotine.
That was perhaps the most impressive win of Jeffrey Pelton's career. Jake Digman, make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Ty Wheeler calls a stop to the action at 54 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by guillotine choke submission, Jeffrey El Jefe Pelton!
Here with your winner, Jeff Pelton. He came out a little crazy, man. Were you expecting that?
I was, actually. I saw some of his fights. He keeps his hands down. rushes in sometimes, but I was ready. I prepared.
That was the most explosive I've ever seen you. Was the fact that it was hard to get you a fight and you kept missing fights that were lined up. Is that what played into you being that aggressive?
No, what it was is I lost my last fight. Had that nasty taste in my mouth. That ain't happening again. It's not happening again. I'd like to thank Strong Style Mixed Martial Arts, all my teammates, my coaches. I love you guys. Thanks.
Everyone in the crowd, we are not related, by the way. We are not related. What's next for you, man?
Keep grinding.
Yeah, let's hear it for your winner, Jeffrey Pelton.